why does no one actually teach you how to build muscle? They'll give you tips and tricks and talk about how you have to progressively overload, but they won't actually tell you how and show you what goes into actually building muscle. In this video, I'll try and do that, but a disclaimer that this isn't going to help you build 10 pounds of muscle in a month or give you tips and tricks. But what it will do is give you a sort of intuitive understanding on what goes into building muscle, and honestly, training will become so much more clear after you understand this. Okay, so what's our goal when it comes to lifting weights and building muscle? The goal is always mechanical tension, okay? Don't think of anything else, think of just mechanical tension as your goal. Mechanical tension is the force muscles experiencing contracting under load. Basically, it's just the force that your muscles are producing when the weight starts slowing as you're moving the weight up. Just think of it as literal tension on the muscle. Now, don't mistake this for time under tension when you're voluntarily choosing to go slowly and keep that tension. No, this is when you're involuntarily slowing down the rep as it gets harder and your muscles have to produce more force. So if mechanical tension is our goal, what goes into this? Okay, let's use the biceps as a very simple example and talk about first exercise selection. So this is very simple, okay? There's two main things you have to focus on. Firstly, is the exercise actually the muscle's function? Okay, so is it targeting the muscle? Okay, for a curl, are you flexing your elbow? Are you somehow engaging the bicep? Okay, first you pick the exercise, and next you make sure that the bicep or whatever muscle you're training is actually the limiting factor. So the reason you're stopping is because of that muscle. On a curl, almost all the time it's going to be your bicep. But let's say you pick a pull-up, which still trains your bicep, it still flexes your elbow, but your back or grip is definitely going to give out before your biceps. So it's not your limiting factor. That's really all you have to know for exercise selection. So the next thing we need to focus on is intensity. And this is very simple, okay? Train to failure. I put train close to failure, but really failure is a skill. And a lot of people are better at it than others. And you're probably really bad at it if you're just starting out, or if you're in your first year, or even your second year, or even your third year. It's genuinely a skill. So I think you should train to failure every single time to develop that skill. Now that doesn't mean cheating, swinging the weight up, or using bad form, okay? Obviously, this has to be with good form. You are not in the gym to lift a lot of weight. You're in the gym to build muscle. So every time, form has to be a priority. There's no point of intensity if your form gives out. Next, and really the last topic in this section, is frequency and volume. So frequency is just how often you train, and volume is your total work done. And we can just keep this very simple, right? The more volume, the more frequency, the more you're really going to grow. Obviously, with the caveat that you are recovering. In general, I would say more frequency is better, and that you should match the volume to recovery. When you have more frequency, you can probably fit in more volume. If you train biceps once a week, you can only do maybe 10 sets. But if you train them 3 times a week, that might go up to 20 or 25. And again, we're not talking specifics here or any advice on volume or frequency. We're just telling you what matters. And all 3 of these, exercise selection, intensity, and frequency and volume, will go into mechanical tension. That's what you have to focus on. Now, this might seem a little too simple. I mean, really only 3 factors, but really that's all there is. If I want you to grow your biceps, I give you an exercise where your biceps are the limiting factor. I tell you to train hard to failure with good form, and you have proper frequency and volume, you are going to grow your biceps. Now, obviously, there's more detail we can go into all of these topics. For exercise selection, you might want to have exercise variation, where you have multiple exercises for the bicep targeting different functions or targeting different range of motions. That's probably optimal, okay? You might want to pick optimal choices, right? And what is an optimal choice? Maybe if you have a full range of motion, if you have high tension in the stretch, if you're very stable, if it's fun and you'll continue to do it. These are all topics that are very important, but they're definitely secondary or tertiary to actually just picking an exercise where your biceps is the limiting factor. We can also go into more detail about intensity with intensity techniques, talking about motor unit recruitment. Lower reps might be able to help you train more intensely, drop sets, all this stuff, again, very, very secondary or tertiary to actually training intensely. And of course, we can talk about programming techniques, including tracking and specialization. But again, Frequency and volume is frequency and volume. You can optimize it, but it still is what it is. And just like that, that's really all you need to know about maximizing muscle growth and mechanical tension. It's so complicated and so many things go into it, but when broken down, it does seem really simple. Last thing I want to talk about is external factors. Obviously, sleep, nutrition, and stress can affect how much muscle you build. Sleep is when you grow muscle, almost exclusively. So you want to focus on the time, quality, and consistency of your sleep. Nutrition is also very important as well. Carbohydrates are energy. You want to stack them before your workout. And stress is very important as well. If you are more stressed, you will build less muscle. It's that simple. All this being said, this is essentially all you need to know when it comes to building muscle. But you're probably going to ask me, what about progressive overload? Well, this is the equation essentially to progressive overload, right? If you do all of this, you will progressive overload. Okay, if you build muscle, you will progressive overload. Do you understand why progressive overload isn't part of this equation? Progressive overload is the output of our input of building muscle, okay? If you get stronger and you build more muscle, you will progressive overload. I can talk about that for like a million years and how so many people get it wrong. But anyway, this is all you need to know. Thank you so much for watching. If you have questions, let me know. Enjoy this drawing I made. This is the lifting tree. Other than that, thank you so much for watching. Comment down below, let me know how wrong I am. And life is very simple, but we insist on making it complicated.